Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is my first 2023 to 24 winter forecast. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's start with the ENSO forecast. This is from the IRI model-based probabilistic. So basically this is done by the models. So we do see here December, January, and February, NDJ, DJF, and JFM. Those are the winter months. So we do see that for the winter months, the El Nino probabilities do stay above 85%. In fact, most of them go towards 90%, and December goes towards 100%. And we do see those probabilities staying up to 75% in March and higher than 50% in April, and then neutral probabilities take over with about a 60% chance of a neutral in May. We're not talking about spring, but I am saying that El Nino will likely persist past winter. So here's a typical El Nino setup. So the subtropical jet is displaced very south, even into the Gulf of Mexico sometimes, which causes wet conditions for a lot of the southern United States, and especially cool conditions for the southeastern United States across the central parts of the eastern and definitely all of the western Gulf Coast. Warm conditions and dry conditions are displaced more to the northwest, midwest areas, and a lot of times we do see these wet and cool conditions go up into the northeast, up mid-Atlantic towards the rest of the east coast, and the jet stream is displaced into Canada, and like I said, it's a tropical jet way south. So yeah, so the CAN-SIPs, we do see here below average temperatures. It's showing for much of the southeast Dixie Alley area into the mid-Atlantic a bit. I do think the CAN-SIPs is going a little easy on this. I do think the below average temperatures will spread a lot more areas than this. I think it will go into like areas such as Texas, more of the southern United States, Gulf of Mexico, into the mid-Atlantic and northeast. So I do think the CAN-SIPs is going a little easy on this, but I do think these also above average temperatures it's showing for much of the northern United States will be more west than shown. The CAN-SIPs above average precipitation mainly across Louisiana through the Florida Panhandle up into the Carolinas. I do think that there will be higher precipitation as well into places like Texas and Oklahoma and a little more inland from the Gulf Coast that's shown here. But for sure, the highest precipitation will be in the Gulf of Mexico southeast area. So first, let's have my temperature forecast. So above average temperatures from the Midwest to the Pacific Northwest, and the orange is higher above normal temperatures, as we can see there. So that is, of course, a typical El Nino pattern. Now, a lot larger area for below average temperatures I am showing than the CAN-SIPs was showing. We see slightly below normal temperatures from Texas through up to New York, and then moderately to just highly below normal temperatures from Texas all the way towards Virginia and Washington, D.C. So we could have below average temperatures all the way down towards Miami due to that subtropical jet being much more south. Precipitation. So we see below average precipitation and way below average precipitation across the Midwest towards Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, places like that. That's due to much of these systems going to be more south and east. Slightly above average precipitation from New Mexico going through southern Arkansas, Alabama, all the way up through Pennsylvania and New York. Moderately above average precipitation, Texas, all the way through the mid-Atlantic, and especially that subtropical jet stream causing way above normal precipitation through Louisiana, parts of Louisiana, southern Mississippi and Alabama, a lot of Georgia and northern Florida, even into a bit of South Carolina. And a lot of these low pressure systems can go through Florida here, and then they will go up the East Coast, potentially causing northeasters and things like that. But moving on, we have our snow forecast. So below average snow chances and below average snowfall overall across the Midwest and just most of the northern United States in general, except the eastern United States, where we do see slightly above normal chances of snow. This does not mean you'll get snow like these southern areas. It just means you have higher chances of snow. Like, for example, Florida. It doesn't mean you're going to get snow. It just means you have a higher chance of it. That goes through Texas all the way up to Maine. And we do see moderately above average Texas, Oklahoma, through to a little bit of Alabama, Mississippi. I do think we will have a good amount of low pressures or cold fronts going through this area, causing a higher chances of snow, especially in those regions such as northern Texas and southern Oklahoma, towards Dallas, Fort Worth, and then in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, into places like Mobile, Alabama. And then we have moderately above average across most of the East Coast, from Georgia and a little bit of northern Florida towards Perry, to where Hurricane Idalia made landfall, all the way up towards Boston, Massachusetts. And the highest chances and the highest snowfall will likely be for Virginia through to places like Boston, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Western Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and places like that. So, severe weather, I need to specify, this just means above average severe weather areas. If you're not in the colors, it doesn't mean you're not getting severe weather. Like, for example, northern Alabama, Mississippi, they're not in the red. They are definitely going to get a lot of severe weather in the winter, because they always do, but I just don't think they're going to get above average severe weather. So anyway, low pressures are going to be more south due to the southern subtropical jet stream. They could either go through the western panhandle, I feel like, or the central Gulf Coast. Many could go towards central Florida, and that's going to cause slightly above average severe weather from southeast Texas all the way to southern southeast, extreme southeast North Carolina, and then all of Florida. And then moderately above average severe weather, Louisiana, southern Mississippi and Alabama, central parts of southern and central Georgia, and most of the Florida peninsula. And then the most severe weather will likely be in a little bit of southern Alabama, southern Georgia, and northern Florida, due to the subtropical jet stream driving a lot of those low pressures through there. And then we have the highest chances for a major blizzard, snowstorm, northeaster, such and such. That's definitely going to be mainly in the mid-Atlantic and northeast. So, slightly above average chances, northern North Carolina up to Massachusetts and southern and central Pennsylvania. Moderately above average for most of Virginia, again going towards New York. And then purple is the highest chances. These are going to be the places most affected by major snowstorms, blizzards, northeasters, and they have the highest chances of them. New Jersey, western Pennsylvania, towards Philadelphia, towards Washington, D.C., and Virginia, Delaware, into New York City. And either this can be caused by northeasters, such as the right track, or systems going off the coast of North Carolina, or low pressures coming through from Kentucky and the central and southern United States. So this is my overall overview of winter, my first winter forecast. So, large yellow area, because El Nino tends to affect the northern United States less otherwise than making them dry. So, large area of dryness. And then warm temperatures will also cause much of the Midwest to be uneventful. I mean, y'all will still get some events, but for the most part uneventful. Due to the El Nino rainy conditions across the southwest, more snowstorms for much of northern Texas, Oklahoma, just that south-central part of the United States due to the subtropical jet. The severe weather hotspot due to many low pressures going through the southeast. And, of course, it's more specific on the graphic I showed earlier. Overall stormy. I don't know why it doesn't show the Y, but stormy for the southeast United States. And we could have some major blizzards or snowstorms and northeasters, or one of them going through the mid-Atlantic and northeast. Doesn't mean you're not going to get more than one, but you could. But that purple area is the highest chances for them. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was very helpful, and I hope you love the premiere, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please consider liking and subscribing. If you have any questions, please comment them, and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. But have a great day.